Hello, welcome back to Frank's Garage. If you're new to the channel, welcome in and subscribe if you haven't. And if you want to see more videos, also subscribe. So this is going to be a short video again. It's about the same engine code as before, the P0069. It's about the map sensor right about there. So we're going to do a little upgrade. Let's just say it's an upgrade. I would love to have the aluminum intake manifold that a few companies are fabricating and making it custom, so you can eliminate all this plastic. And yeah, it looks better if you get the aluminum ones. But anyways, I don't have the money for that because that cost at least $1,200, and I don't have the budget to go ahead and invest. Let's just say it this way: invest $1,200 on an intake that I right now don't seem to need. So anyways, let's go ahead and do that. So really quick, because I don't have a lot of battery on my phone left, and yeah, it's pretty late in the day. And no, this is not an unboxing video. Hold on. If you guys have seen the SMB filters video for the map sensor spacer kit, this is it right there. So basically, you put that little O-ring that you see right here, you put that O-ring right in here, and then you're gonna fit this where the map sensor goes. The thing is, you gotta play around with it a little bit, because the hole where the new screw that you're gonna put in, the hole where that goes, it's a little bit difficult sometimes to make it fit in, but you gotta play around with it and push it in. And then you got a new, much longer bolt for the map sensor, and you got to use a much longer bolt because obviously you're adding this much space in between the sensor and the intake manifold. So yeah, so let me take that okay, bolt, stay with your piece. Okay, right there. Let's see, let's take this out. So it says small gasket or seal, and that little seal, like I said before, it's gonna go in here. Okay, so I'm gonna go put that in right now to that piece, and I'll see you at the engine. Okay, to explain a little bit why I'm doing this again. Well, the check engine code did come back on. Okay, so I say, it could be that there's a lot of soot in my really old intake manifold. I mean, this thing has 345,000 miles. It could be that this thing in here is just full of crap. But the spacer is supposed to help with the situation. Come on. It's a little difficult to get the connector off of it if it's sitting inside. So let's take this off. Sorry, I got difficulty because to give you an idea how far I am. So I'm standing right here. Look how far I gotta stretch to get to where I need to loosen this off. Okay. Okay, it's loose. I don't need this anymore. Alright. By the way, that is a 7mm bolt. So that way you know what size you're gonna need whenever you take this off. Okay. You can keep this bolt for whatever else because you're not going to use it again. Obviously with the spacer you're gonna need the other bolt. Okay, so then you play around with this till it decides to come out. There you go. All right, you see it's got a little bit of oil, you know. Okay, so now that I have this out, I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect it by pressing this, but I need the other hand, so I'm gonna put you guys facing down for a second. There we go. For a second I thought the connector was a little broken, but no. Okay, I was able to get it off. Everything's clean inside, so for sure I don't think it's the connectors. Can't really see in there, but yeah, it's got some grime around the tip, a lot of oil right there. So the spacer is supposed to help this not give a check engine light with all the soot that you get in, you know, in your intake. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it on. Obviously I'm gonna clean this off. That's pretty nasty, but let's go ahead and put the spacer. All right, so I got the spacer right here with the little rubber gasket in there. Let's see, camera, focus. There we go. You see the gasket right in there. So the way it goes is like this. So this little hole is where the bolt is gonna go in. You want that all the way to that direction over there. And like I said, you gotta play around with it. It's gotta click in. Yeah, I think it's in there pretty good. Alright, I'm gonna leave that like that. Then I'm gonna go ahead and clean the this tip of the sensor. I'm gonna clean it off right now. I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're gonna put the sensor right in place, and you gotta push in. There we go, snapped in place. Okay, now you're gonna grab the bolt, a long new bolt. You're gonna see if it's lining up with the screw hole where this is supposed to go, and it looks like it is. Wow, I didn't mean for that to happen, but man, let's see. I could be wrong about this. I don't think it's in, but it looks like it's screwing down. So yeah, it's in place. Oh yeah, got it in place on the first try. That's like 1 in a million. Huh. Okay, let's see. Okay, that's finger tight right now. I'm going to put the connector at this time, put it back in place. Okay, make sure you hear that click. Okay, obviously I got the fan noise behind me. You probably wouldn't be able to hear the click. And then you need an 8mm bolt to tighten it down. Okay, and you just, oh wait, I forgot one thing. Take it back out. Take it back out. I forgot to use Loctite. I forgot this bolt, the new one, needs to use Loctite. So now that I know that it's already in place, I'll make sure to not move it. I'll put the Loctite that came with it. I forgot to show you where that was in the package, but it was all the way at the bottom. Okay, You're gonna use this Loctite. You're gonna put only at the tip right here. No need to put the whole thing with Loctite, just on the tip. All right, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, put the Loctite on. Now let's put this bolt where it goes. Okay, this time let's make sure we do it right. There's no need to over tighten this, it just needs to be snug. Okay? Like that. Okay? There's no need to over tighten anything. Okay? So we're good. Nothing's out of place. Everything's very nice and tight. Again, you know, snug. Because if you over tighten, you most likely will either mess up the threads in the plastic here, or will break the hook where the map sensor is holding on to the bolt. Okay. All right. So that's it. Now I'm gonna go back into the car, and we're going to clear that engine code once again. And if that engine code comes back on, then I'm probably have a bad map sensor or a faulty wire. Okay, so here we go. Okay, as you can see, I've driven it some miles after the last video about this little issue, so that way you can see it. Well, let me just tell you right before you say something on the comments. You see that that needle right there, that gauge for the turbo? That turbo gauge is like that because I have a custom made turbo that doesn't use the inlet to measure the, oh my god, to measure the amount of turbo that's working. It probably has it, but I don't remember if it does, and probably I decided to just forget about it and get done installing the turbo. Because honestly, the engine does, I mean, this gauge doesn't need to be working for me to be able to drive the vehicle, and it runs pretty good. Okay, anyways, like I was saying, we're gonna delete the code, or erase the code in this case. Back with my Foxwell. Erase codes. Yes, I'm gonna erase codes. Erase done. Okay, good, goody good. So let's go back out, all the way out. Come on, okay. Now let's see. And there you go, it's gone. So we're gonna run it again a few extra miles and see what's going on, because meh, I'm hoping that fixes that. If not, then that means I need to figure out whether I got a bad sensor or bad wire, or who knows if it's something even worse than that. Who knows? I'm hoping it's just a bad sensor if it comes back on. All right, so I'll see you guys on the next one. That's it for now. Actually, no, let me show you something really quick. Let me turn this big old monster off. And I say monster because it's the biggest vehicle I got here. Oh. So the quick update I want to do before I end this video is my Explorer. I got it back. I had sent it to the transmission shop. It had a bad transmission. I didn't know, but it was giving me some signs that there was a problem with it. It was jerking. If I had to make like a sudden stop or sudden slow down by pressing the brakes quickly, it would take its time to change from whatever gear it was down to the gear it needs to be to accelerate again, and it would give me a big jerk to the forward, and I knew something was going on with the transmission, so I called my buddy that fixes transmissions, and he hooked me up. He repaired it for me, so we're good on that. We're good on that. And let me tell you his price. I don't know what other people are paying for transmission repair, but I ended up paying him I believe it was $2,100 for the repair. So I'm good, and he gave me a 2-year warranty on it. So now on the Nissan, you see that puddle? That's not oil. That is oil, but that's not engine oil. That's power steering oil. And my rack and pinion went out. It's leaking bad. It's leaking really bad. I left it there. I put it here like maybe half an hour ago, and it's already doing that. Look at that. And I put it there like about half an hour ago. It was there, and that's in that position all night and almost all day. And in the Camry, the power steering pump blew out. I tried to turn the wheel, and the moment I try to turn it, it just kind of locks it in there. And I hear the power steering pump just screaming like a baby waking up in the middle of the night. Let's just put it that way. So that's it for now. There will be a video coming about the front wheel bearings on my Explorer and the new brakes I'll be putting on and other things in the future. I don't know if I'll be putting a video for this because the position I'm going to be in is going to be very difficult to record because I don't have a lift. If I had a lift, I can just easily show you guys everything underneath the car, but I don't have that facility just yet. Hopefully soon. But yeah, I gotta do the power steering pump on that first, and then we're gonna do the rack and pinion here. Yeah, that's how it's gonna be. Yeah, it's becoming a nightmare. Everything's breaking down all of a sudden. My 2 gas economical cars are breaking down, and the other ones are still fine. That's life. Oh well. Yeah, so the power steering pump, I'll show you. I got it right here. I got it in a box. Power steering pump for the Camry. It's still in the little bag, but there it is. All I gotta do is just replace it. So yeah. Anyways, guys, that's it for now. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Alright, guys, stay safe. Bye bye.